The disc-shaped E9 grade ship flew at sublight speed carefully through the space, dodging the dangerous spots. Within the resting quarters, everybody sit. Taiwo smiled and sat in the sofa, using his undying energy to control a wine bottle and some glasses. He poured 10 cups of wine. The crystal-clear glasses floated before the 10 of them. He lifted his glass. "Let's toast," he said. Haha. The 9 members smiled carefree and lifted their glasses. "For our luck in this battle. For our 2 new, exceptional members. Let's toast." Taiwo said, "Cheers, cheers." The group of sector lords laughed loudly. Any one of them, when placed in the normal star fields, would all be large figures, living it up. However, they all chose to come to the outer region wars, because they all had the hopes of becoming even stronger and fighting other stronger warriors. As per usual, we'll first reflect on the battle. Taiwo placed his glass down. That battle before. Everything was within the enemy's control, whether it was the Thunder Hell setup or the 9 armies of Thunder puppets. The 3000 F-grade puppets holding me up and killing you all after, etc. Everything was within his plan. The 9 members listened intently. All the other old members did well, staying not too far from me and Poison, even in danger. Poison would be able to give his all and save you all. Taiwo revealed a smile. The 2 new recruits did very well, too, amongst which I'm very satisfied with Rock. He did as well as the old members. I believe that through some more experience, he will get stronger too. Of course, the one that made everybody the happiest was, we got a new powerful member, Madman. Taiwo looked at Luo Feng. Madman, Madman. The group looked at him and cheered. In such a dangerous place such as the battlefields, it was a good thing to have such powerful teammates. Because of him, Poison didn't need to go all out, and we saved a valuable potion. Taiwo looked at the childlike Poison squatting on the sofa. Poison, you've got it made. Hee hee. Poison grinned at Luo Feng. Luo Feng looked shocked at him. This chemist was very strong. Madman. Demon Lady's voice was enchanting. Poison is the second strongest in our group. He once defeated an Undying before. Defeated an Undying Luo. Feng looked shocked at him. What? Rock was even more shocked. Even the 9th form of the Nan Shen armament, a match against Undying, was only a match, and could be used for survival. It couldn't exactly defeat an Undying. Of course, the Heavenly Bridges, level 13, 14, and 15, all used this move, of which the 15th level's move had the ability to already kill a normal Undying. However, that was the Heavenly Bridge, level 15, the requirement for official level Undyings. Such an absolute genius would definitely become a Sector Lord core member of the Virtual Universe Company. The main thing is that I can rely on my natural ability and potions combined with the plant life form I nurtured. Poison smiled. 1 potion costs close to 80 mixed elements to succeed. Hee hee. Madman, you've saved me 80 mixed elements. Come, let's drink. Luo Feng lifted his glass, filled with respect within. A chemist was able to create special potions, even according to one's own needs, nurturing special plant life forms. To reach this level, he is pretty impressive, Luo Feng thought. Other than the captain and Poison, Madman, you are our 3rd-ranked warrior now. Mad Wu laughed. HM the 3rd, and you don't need potions like Poison. The others all laughed and said ... This battle allowed everyone to know the strengths of their 2 new recruits. They got a good grasp on the 2 of them, especially the new Madman, who was regarded as the 3rd ranked in the team. Luo Feng was indifferent. He didn't care about such ranks, even though his earth body alone had the ability to kill an Undying. The ship continued forward. In a flash, 2 months had passed, and even though they did encounter 2 other attacks, they were able to easily settle it. After all, a team led by an Undying with 9 Sector Lord Generals wasn't something just anyone could deal with. This was also why they headed to a special location. The other location's enemies were simply too weak, and accumulating contribution points simply took too long. The two attacks before shore were weak, and the moment they saw we had an undying, they all fled. So boring. This makes accumulating points too slow. The members discussed within the resting quarters. We've got 2 more days to reach the starfield 001289038484. Shattered Stars. Taiwo said, Shattered Stars is a more renowned battlefield area, as large amounts of other race warriors lay hidden there. Over there, we will definitely be pushed. The only thing we will be complaining about is our own lack of strength. Madman. A deep voice resounded, the most sturdy-looking of the team. Hammer looked at him. What's your contribution points? Quota. My contribution points, quota. Luo Feng frowned. Every soldier in the outer regions had a quota to hit. They had to get sufficient points to free themselves. For example, if one had a request of 1 million points, starting at 0, killing in the battlefields would give them points, until they reached 1 million. Only then could he choose to retire, exchange for treasures, or continue to fight, even fight alone, etc. He would gain the right to choose, and before hitting that quota, they would have to obey the army orders. Right? How many do you have? Madman's quota should be high. The Sector Lord team sat in the sofas and looked over. Luo Feng said casually, it's still okay. The quota is 1 billion. 1 billion. The white-armored god stared wide-eyed. Did I hear right? Luo Feng nodded curiously. Right. 1 billion. Was this number absurd? He thought it should be within a normal range. Damn, 1 billion? My god? It's 1 billion. Even the calm Taiwo stood up. The old members all looked shocked at Luo Feng. The illusionist Wei, stroking his cat, turned quickly at Rock. Rock, how much is your quota? Mine is 200 million, Rock said. Not bad. It's already impressive. But Madman, it's absurd. It's actually 1 billion. The members all discussed. The 2 new members, however, were curious. Just what did this quota actually mean? Even though Luo Feng's status was high, he had only checked on some information he needed to know. As for just what this quota number actually implied, he didn't know. If you interact enough with the other sector lords, you would know. Taiwo exclaimed, the capable ones do the most work. The stronger one is, the higher his quota would be. When the new recruits first joined the outer region wars, they would be given their quotas. These would accurately represent their strength, and the authority they are given is only the most raw judgment of their strength, the normal sector lord, the elite, and the general. These are unclear levels. The sector lords usually have a lowest quota of 1 million, the highest being 1 billion, of which a normal soldier normally has 1 million to 10 million. The elites have 10 million to about 100 million. Sector lord generals have 100 million to 1 billion. Taiwo said, the quotas between 100 million to 1 billion are all sector lord generals, of which they have different levels of strengths too. It's obvious that Rock is already very exceptional for a new recruit. Even without any experience in the battlefield, he's gotten this strong. Madman, however, you are simply... Luo Feng was stunned. 1 billion is the top limit of a general. For anyone that has such a high quota, it means you have the strength no weaker than a normal undying. Taiwo emphasized the Virtual Universe Company's system will never be wrong. You have the strength to match a normal undying. The members were all shocked as they looked at him. However, they didn't know that sector lords that could match a normal undying did have quotas of 1 billion. However, those able to kill a normal undying, or even an official level undying, etc., all had the same 1 billion quota, as that was the absolute limit for sector lords. They didn't know that Luo Feng's strength was much more terrifying than what they imagined. For them, being able to match and kill a normal undying was already heavenly. So, that's how it is. Luo Feng shook his head and laughed. growing through the many life or death experiences in the battlefield before reaching general level. There are many sector lords that go through this. However, those able to match and kill a normal undying, those are extremely few and rare. Of our entire 26th base, there are probably only 2 or 3 such sector lords, Taiwo exclaimed. In contrast, our alliance partners, even our enemies, the Bug Clan sector lord queens, automaton sector lords, many are able to kill undyings. Some of their warrior talents are simply too heavenly. As for human sector lords, able to do so are simply too rare. However, our team now has one. Taiwo smiled at him. Poison looked at him too. Their eyes were filled with anticipation. Their team now had 3 undying level strengths. Unlike Poison that had to rely on potions, Luo Feng truly had the battle strength of an undying. This would naturally raise their survival rate in Shattered Stars by a lot. Howl. Luo Feng could only smile. 1 billion contribution points quota. He didn't even think about the number. This quota was something the system itself had allotted him. It was a formality. Every sector lord ranged between 1 million to 1 billion, and his strength was enough to be given the limit. However, the Virtual Universe Company had another request for him to accomplish through his life or death training. That request was 10 trillion points. After completing it, only then could he leave the Outer Region Wars. This was his life or death training. This was the Army's request, and another was the Virtual Universe Company's Sector Lord level request. One was 1 billion, another was 10 trillion. Hence, Luo Feng didn't even think his 1 billion was a lot.